I'm happy to say we're starting our first of monthly updates on the redevelopment of Seacoast Inn. I see Mr. Shrani, Allison, and staff here, and we appreciate you being here. Mr. Brown?
Without further ado, Mr. Wade, please.
Thank you, Mr. Manager, Mayor, members of the council. This is the first monthly report. At the last council meeting at which the Seacoast Inn was discussed, the City Council requested that we once again go back to providing a monthly update on the progress made on the redevelopment of the Seacoast Inn. At that time, we adopted, or the City Council rather, adopted a memorandum of understanding which in it contained a schedule of performance. The memorandum of understanding was to establish and commit the redevelopment agency of the city to a financial contribution to the project. That is memorialized in the memorandum. Also, there was a schedule of performance for milestones that Pacifica was to meet. I'll go over some of the ones that the city is currently involved in, and then I'll ask Pacifica to come up and report on the progress made on some of the other items. We have issued a demolition permit for the hotel. That was issued pursuant to the schedule. We are currently reviewing, we have some bond information we have to get from the applicant. We did have a bond submitted with the application, and we've had some minor changes to that bond, but we will have that. The building permit plans have been resubmitted, at least the architectural and structural building permit plans have been submitted. Those are in the city. We, and I don't know if Pacifica even knows this, but we will be using our former building official who did the initial plan check, has agreed to do the plan check for those plans, so we'll get that underway in the next couple days here. Even if we have to wait a couple days, we think it'll be more expeditious to use the original plan checker than to send them out to and outsource it to a consultant to do that. So that's good news. That will be moving forward. We still have yet to receive the mechanical, the MEP, mechanical, electrical, plumbing from mechanical. Well, the MEP plans have yet to be submitted, so those will be coming in the next several weeks. Moving along here, we also have 2 encroachment permits submitted. One for the demolition of the hotel. There's a construction fence that will be put in place. That's been submitted, as well as an encroachment permit for during construction of the hotel itself, as well as post-construction encroachments for the project. We have a draft OPA prepared. Staff is reviewing that. However, right now we are looking at the financial mechanism by which the redevelopment agency will finance this project. So there's some nuances that we have to explore. Those will be put into the OPA. That's what the OPA is, the owner participation agreement. So we will get that to you as soon as we have the finances worked out for that owner participation agreement. Our finance director is scheduling a meeting with bond counsel to get the bond issue going. That will take upwards of 3 months from commencement to the actual issuance of the bond. So that's also underway. Those are the things that city staff and redevelopment agency staff are currently working on. I don't think I missed anything here, so with that, I'd like to introduce, I believe it'll be Allison Rolls with Pacifica to give an update on their items.
First, Ms. Rose, you have
Allison. No, I don't have a copy of the project schedule in front of me. Is there anything that has been missed at this point in time? Is there any dates that have slipped at this point?
We're about to hear from the applicant. There are some dates in the schedule that had asterisks next to them that were basically asterisks because they were contingent upon other things happening. Most notable of those, which has not happened by the date that's identified in the schedule, is the recordation of the final map. And that has implications with respect to the disposition of the property and the existing loan on the property. So I'll let Pacifica address that, but as far as we're concerned, the schedule, we are in compliance with the schedule at this point. There are some dates that have some wiggle room built into the schedule, and those I'll let Allison talk about.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Greg. Mayor Janney, honorable council members, thanks for having us tonight. My name is Allison, and I'm the project manager for Seacoast Inn, and I'm joined by the owner and our construction project manager, Enrique Terrazas. I'm just going to start by going over the schedule that I've just passed out to all of you quickly. I won't repeat because Greg's covered a lot of it, and then the owner, Ashish Rani, will answer a couple questions related to the issue that was just raised, and then we're available if you have any additional questions. What I've done here is I highlighted all of the items that came due since the last time we met. The last time we met was April 21st. So some of these dates were prior to April 21st and they had already been completed. So rather than go over those again, I'd like to focus on the highlighted items, which are the tasks that have come due since the last time we met. As Greg has already mentioned, we submitted a demo permit application and we've received a demo permit. We have submitted our CC&Rs to Coastal Commission for review. We've recorded our deed restriction with the county, and we have a tax clearance certificate from the county. And the reason those three things are important, the CC&Rs, the deed restriction, and the tax clearance, is because those are all called prior to issuance conditions. And those are necessary for submittal to Coastal Commission. Coastal Commission needs to review certain items, and those are three of them before we can demo. So even though we have our demolition permit in hand, we're not allowed to actually demo the building until Coastal Commission gives us the green light. The next is we submitted payment for the OPA legal fees, and as Greg mentioned, it sounds like there's a draft ready, so we'll be working on that. We actually yesterday we received notice that our coastal development permit extension request was granted. So a formal letter was sent out yesterday. We should be receiving it. Maybe you all have already received it. We didn't get it at our office today yet. But that was a significant accomplishment. Line item 13 is our hazardous materials abatement. I have here that it has been commenced. I just learned from Enrique that it's completed. So commenced and completed, we're done. We've submitted our architectural, structural, and grading plans to the city. This is as per line item 16. We haven't submitted MEP, those are due June 30th, so we'll get those in on or before June 30th. And that completes the items that we were committing to for this meeting. However, there are three items that are italicized in bold, and those items are the items that were marked by an asterisk, because these were estimated dates. The reason that they were estimated dates is because they were not 100% within our control. They actually, the three items are Citibank issuing a subordination agreement, the recordation of the final map, and then the submittal of the final map to Coastal Commission. Those three items are actually linked together. So I'm gonna turn it over to the owner who can explain to you what's happening with the subordination letter, and then I'll come back and explain how they're linked with the final map and how we're gonna resolve that issue. And Greg, I actually have the bonds for you that you mentioned earlier. Thank you.
Honorable Mayor and City Council, first of all, I want to thank you for being patient with us. I know I missed the last two meetings because of unavoidable circumstances, but I'm here, and you can ask me any questions you like. I wanted to mainly talk about the financing, where we are on that, and before that, I wanted to address the Citibank's refusal of signing the final map. I think they're doing that because they have the mortgage. They like to get the mortgage paid off before they do that. They know that the property has been shut down and they're upset about it. We're actually in technical default, but they're not calling it because we have a relationship with them. We have several loans with them. But they would like to see their loan paid off. And I think they feel like they would lose some of their position if they were to give up some of the land, because the final map also dedicates land to public use, part of the land that we own currently. So I think what the way I like to address that is that issue actually becomes moot. If we have financing from some of the sources that I will talk about next, then I think I'm willing to pay off the loan and proceed with the demo. I'm reluctant to do that until we have that in place, and I think we're coming very close. I think the last page of the submittal that you have, it talks about all the banks that we've approached, and some of the banks that we're still talking to. But we have three good candidates. These are all relationships that we can count on, and the one is Goldman Sachs, Wells Fargo, and Citizens Business Bank. So I'm very hopeful that one of them will come forward. They're all looking at it favorably. We don't know what the terms and conditions and how much of the loan they will produce. I mean, nobody is doing hotel loans, but these guys are willing to look at it because of relationship purely on that basis.